It's a hop, step and jump away from Delhi, and people say it doesn't have much tourist potential. In fact, usually it's only a tea stop on the way to Agra. But Nawaz Batena insists that this city has a lot more to offer than we can imagine. Can we believe her?
They say that this is where Lord Krishna hid the clothes of women who came to the river to bathe, where he consorted with his gopis and where he played with his friends. In Vrindaban, it's impossible to separate religion from mythology and from history. Historically, this area was once a thick forest, and the Yamuna was much more than the small stream it is today. For devotees, this is hallowed ground, land where Lord Krishna walked upon thousands of years ago. If you come here and find yourself overwhelmed by the sheer number of temples and can't decide which ones to visit, I strongly suggest the Govindev temple that dates back to 1590. It has a marvelous edifice and is worth a look over, whether you're a devotee or tourist or both.
There are over 1,000 temples in Vrindaban alone, and no points for guessing who they're all dedicated to. In fact, there's nothing in Vrindaban which isn't Krishnified. But there's just one hitch. If you're planning on doing anything between 12 and 4, think again. It's siesta time for the gods and everybody in Vrindaban.
Even the interior is resplendent with its high-vaulted ceiling and carvings all over. Here's a word of caution. Beware of the monkeys. They run wild all over Vrindaban and have the uncanny knack of devastating you and your belongings and returning them only when you offer them copious quantities of food. Sometimes the exchange isn't fair. When you take away the temples, Vrindaban is nothing more than a maze of gullies, all of which lead to one significant site or the other. If the scooterists don't get you, the monkeys will. Keeping an eye out for our greedy cousins, I made my way to the Nidhivan Gardens. Upadhyaji, my guide, regaled me with stories from Lord Krishna's life, as if he had been a close friend of his. It was fascinating listening to him.
So how old are these trees?
These are the time of Lord Krishna. But in the 15th century, our great Hindu Vaishnava friend named Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was born in West Bengal, came here and searched out this place by his spiritual power.
So these trees must be ancient, from the time of Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Wow. What variety is this?
The Arani. Tama.
They say if you stay in this grove after dark, the spirits here haunt you and you die eventually. This stirred the rationalist in me, but I slipped away before dark. There's no point in taking chances, is there? If there's a place where the past and present come together, united by steadfast devotion to Lord Krishna, it's at the ISKCON temple. The International Society of Krishna Consciousness was founded in the 60s in New York. Today it has embraced lakhs of devotees into its fold. You can be walking around London, Amsterdam or New York and be greeted by devotees of all nationalities chanting Hare Krishna. hall is where prayers and discussions are held, and there's an easy informality about the place, which is nice. Frescoes depicting scenes from Krishna's life adorn the walls. You can stay here for a nominal fee. The vegetarian meals are superb. From Vrindaban, Bharatpur is an hour by road. I'm headed for the Keoladio Bird Sanctuary, which is a wetland of international renown and one of the most famous bird sanctuaries in the world. From Siberia, Egypt and Central Asia, birds flock here and make Bharatpur their home for 3 to 4 months of the year before flying back to where they came from. Year after year, they make their pilgrimage with unending zeal. If you want to see them, the best time is between October and March. Arm yourself with a book, binoculars and lots of patience, because though there are over 300 species here during the season, it's difficult to tell one from the other, unless of course you're a pro.
Charan Singh, how long have you been in the park?
Maybe 10, 8 years.
That long?
Yeah.
If you're an amateur like me, I suggest you take the cycle rickshaw. It's the best way to see the park. And in fact, some of these rickshawalas are as knowledgeable as the books. Chaliye, Charan Singh.
Charan Singh didn't need a book. He knew the names and was also a storehouse of curious facts about the winged wonders. The Saras crane, for instance, is a thoroughbred Indian bird. They are unbelievably faithful to each other. When one dies, the other pines so much that death becomes inevitable. Quite unlike modern-day human couples, wouldn't you say? There are over 2,000 pairs of painted stock nesting in the sanctuary and eat 40 to 60 quintals of fish a day. That's about as much as one day's trawler load. If you're the sort who likes to know the origin of things, this was once just a large patch of semi-arid land. Then the Maharaja of Bharatpur had water diverted from an irrigation canal. Water covered the land and birds began congregating and mating here. Just when the birds started proliferating, the Maharaja revealed his true intentions.
The Maharaja of Bharatpur used this park to entertain his royal friends, not for picnics or high tea like you'd imagine, but on hunting expeditions. In fact, on several occasions, they bagged over 4,000 ducks in just one day.
Thankfully, the area soon became a sanctuary, and now the birds are protected by law. Depending on your inclination, you can spend a day or a week here. From Bharatpur, Deeg is 35 kilometers away. It's one of the least known tourist places, incredibly beautiful and unspoiled. It's essentially a palace complex, but that's an understatement because it's spread over 20 acres. More like a palace town, if I can use that expression. It's built entirely of sandstone, except for the occasional marble building to break the monotony.
The Suraj Bhavan originally stood in the Red Fort in Agra. It was the living quarters of the Maharani, but it was stolen in 1760 and brought here piece by piece and reconstructed into a school for the royalty.
Deeg was an 18th century stronghold of the Jat rulers. The palace was built in 1730 by Prince Surajmal. The royal family lived here until the 1950s when the palace was taken over by the government. Landscape gardens and over 3,000 fountains make Deeg inviting even at the height of summer, when temperatures in northern India can be as high as 45 degrees. During the peak of summer, the Maharaja along with his courtesans used to cool their heels here in the Keshav Bhavan. An intricately designed system used to allow water to flow down from the roof and the pillars and give the effect of rain. How romantic.
A lot's happened in the past half an hour. You've been on 2 incredible journeys, and I've just been forced out of my team. I tell you, it's all politics.